Welcome back to another edition of Just an Opinion. Today I'm going to move forward with my sports series, and I'm going to rank my top 10 professional sports movies. These flicks focus on adult characters, but every story is different. Some focus on a character new to the world of pros. Others center on those past their prime that have one last shot at greatness. Mentor figures have their place, but some of our characters act as players and counseled elders to the younger folks. The stakes in these movies are much higher, but the spoils are also greater, but so is the possibility of losing it all. You might not agree with my selections, but this is just an opinion, and you can count on that.
And you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot.
Oof, rough crowd. Better start the list. Number 10 is Slapshot. Paul Newman leads this cult classic. A local mill is about to lay off thousands of workers, and this also threatens the existence of the town's minor league hockey team. They immediately change their strategy in hopes of bringing in bigger audiences.
She's a lesbian! A lesbian! A lesbian! Son of a bitch!
At this point, the film turns comically violent. Any scene with the Hanson brothers is gold. Example that sometimes the biggest rival of a team is actually a greedy owner willing to destroy the futures of an entire franchise. And this picture certainly offers a vicarious experience of taking out your rage in a slightly more fun and dignified manner. Number 9 is Mystery Alaska. This is one of the more unique sports features. A local hockey team is given the chance of a lifetime with a match against the New York Rangers in a nationally televised exhibition game. It's a classic confrontation of a professional team taking on a group of townies but on their own turf. While featuring an ensemble cast, all the performances are good with intermingled character plots. Despite some big-name actors, the film feels very authentically small town.
Am I a big guy?
Yeah, Johnny.
No. Look. See? You're the big guy. And we need you to start playing like a big guy. Okay? Are you a big guy?
And the audience is brought into the small community, which has each one of its citizens somehow affected by the town's hockey team.
Shooting, passing, stick handling. The truth? Except for Connor, nobody here comes close. But on the pond, black ice, wide open surface, it's all about skating. We can skate.
You truly understand the magic of this team and how special it is. Thus, a professional team embarrassing them on national television could destroy its legacy. Number 8 is Happy Gilmore. For better or for worse, this film helped launch the career of Adam Sandler and made him a household name. While the game itself remains traditional, Sandler gives the sport an MTV makeover with his style, broadening the fan base. Sandler's performance is hilarious in this picture, whether he's just doing his Adam Sandler thing.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Having an argument with his antagonist.
You're in big trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Or fighting with Bob Barker.
I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing! Oh!
Describing this film to someone who hasn't seen it would be pretty interesting considering how off the wall it is.
Oh, man.
Remember the gator that got your hand? I got his head.
Jobs!
also a sweet sincerity mixed in with the comedy, as everything Sandler does is to help his grandma save her home. Number 7 is Warrior. This flick successfully built a dramatic story around MMA fighting. Brilliantly, it has parallel storylines with two estranged brothers both training for the same tournament.
And who are you exactly? Your brother, man.
But they are fighting for completely different reasons. By the time the tournament does come around, you are emotionally invested in both characters. Their father, played by Nick Nolte, is seemingly the only thing that connects the two. His performance is exceptionally emotional as he struggles with relapsing into his addictive ways. Director Gavin O'Connor deserves a huge shout out for his innovative fashion in how he shot the fighting scenes. Everything is immensely stylized, turning the violence into almost a dramatic ballet.
Some mob of guillotine and clocks go!
was trying to submit the Russian man. No, but still trying out.
Conley's standing after him. He's squeezing the bear. The tables have turned and the Boy Scout is actually wrestling with the bear.
He just springing off the fence and going for a...
Number 6 is $1 Million Baby. Broken families and lost faith are the backdrop of this boxing drama. A trainer hesitantly agrees to take on the services of a female boxer. The charm of this flick are the performances by Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, and Morgan Freeman. Eastwood also shined in his directorial duties. The chemistry between he and Swank felt very real as it grew from a reluctant partnership to a father-daughter-like bond.
I got nobody but you, Frankie.
Well, you've got me.
Freeman and his iconic voice serves as both an integral character, but also the narrator, tying everything together.
There's magic in boxing. It's the magic of fighting battles beyond endurance. It's the magic of risking everything for a dream that nobody sees but you.
While there are moments of triumph, this film does take a dark turn, and the audience experiences heartbreak, along with our protagonists on more than one occasion.
They were chanting for me. I was in magazines. You think I ever dreamed that happened?
Number 5 is White Men Can't Jump. Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes lead this comedy, their characters serving as an example of how is one not like the other. Their only common ground is the game of basketball and hustling others on the court. Both characters are flawed. They come to a point where they need each other, but at the same time, they're also willing to scam the other out of money, if given the chance. Quite frankly, the chemistry is so spot on between the two that they could have carried a film on any subject matter.
What the fuck are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing two things.
What? What are you doing?
I'm making them mad. Most guys don't play good when they're mad.
Look, you know you're embarrassing me. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I'm doing.
I can't believe this. You know, you're not embarrassing me. You are pissing me off. That's what you're doing.
Well, good, because unlike those guys, I assume you play better when you're mad. Am I right?
I'm not listening to you.
But we're dealing with basketball here, and these scenes are pretty impressive and comical at the same time.
Give it up. You want it back now. Where you going? Where you going? I'm right here. You ain't getting nothing. Back door! Back door! Oh! Yeah! Come on!
Taste, the game that don't stop, so pick up the pace. What you see is what you get, you know I never step. And if you think it's over now, you ain't seen nothing yet. In this doggy dog world, you know I'm out to get mine. If you want to get yours, you know you gotta reach high.
Traditional basketball has long been covered in cinema, but this picture shows that there are much different rules and sometimes more at stake on the streets. Number 4 is A League of Their Own. This true story chronicles the short-lived women's professional baseball teams that played during World War II. While an amazing story on its own, it's the collection of characters that make the film, led by Geena Davis and Tom Hanks.
Come on!
Hey, who's the goddamn manager? I am!
Act like it, you big lush.
In just a short amount of time, you learn the backstory of every character and how they're impacted by the war. The camaraderie among the team is absolutely genuine and hilarious.
You know, they got over 100 girls here, so, some of yous are gonna have to go home.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, Doris.
Those people are jerks.
What do you
man.
mean some of us? Do it. Okay, some of them are going home. Hey!
While Davis masterfully handles the lead role, Hanks once again gave an iconic performance,
Come on, you girls! We got dinner!
What?
Get on a bus!
What did he say?
including one of the most quotable lines from any sports movie.
Are you crying? There's no crying! There's no crying in baseball!
This flick was very progressive, not only for women's sports movies, but also works that featured an all-women ensemble. Number 3 is Raging Bull. Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro both made a masterpiece with this release. What separates this film from nearly every sports movie I've discussed is that our protagonist is not a likable person, and this is not a redemption story either. Boxer Jake LaMotta is a quick-tempered, very jealous man who used violence as his only outlet.
I can't wait.
Good. Okay? Happy? Happy?
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Here, no more. There.
Bothering me about a steak, huh? You bothering me about a steak?
It gave him some acclaim in the ring, but destroyed his life outside of it. Quite frankly, some of the scenes are difficult to watch. Despite this, Scorsese's direction and De Niro's performance make this an artistic piece.
A half crowd. Reeves is up against a tough fighter, a man who doesn't know how to back up. LaMotta continues to bore in. LaMotta out of the bottom, puts the left hand to the jaw, and Reeves is down.
While Warrior transformed fight scenes into a dramatic ballet, Raging Bull somewhat transformed them into a tragic opera. Number 2 is Major League. This feature has many moving parts, but everything molds together. A team comprised of rookies and has-beens are on the brink of another losing season. The ante is upped with the threat of possibly being moved to another city, so our group bands together for one last shot at the pennant. This flick certainly earns its R rating with its cynical humor and some pretty raunchy stuff.
Equipment. Ooh. Cups still work, though. We'll simply have to fix the old whirlpool.
You fixed it 6 times already. Now there's no hot water in the shower.
Pipes in this building are old and rusted.
But make no mistake, there is a lot of heart to this picture as well. We get a very unconventional assortment of characters that somehow find a symmetry together. And while the baseball scenes are very cinematic, they also feel very real.
Come on, Willie. Here's the throw!
And you can't help but sing and cheer along to Wild Thing when Rick Vaughn comes out during the final game.
I hate this fucking song.
Number 1 is Field of Dreams. A farmer starts building a baseball field influenced by a spiritual being.
If you build it, he will come.
Our protagonist Kevin Costner is not an athlete himself. As the movie gets going, there are no training montages, drama-filled games, or other typical sports conventions. But baseball is the background of the entire film. It influences and drives every person and action, and it's both metaphysical and literal. Upon first viewing, the narrative feels almost mysterious. The MacGuffin shifts constantly.
Go the distance.
Yes! Do you know what it means?
Yes.
What?
It means we're going to Minnesota to find Moonlight Graham.
We're going... We?
I must be out of my mind.
What do we do? What do we do when we find him?
How the hell am I supposed to know that?
The performances are amazing, particularly Costner and James Earl Jones. The latter coming to terms with how baseball has influenced him, realizing how timeless the sport is, bringing joy to so many.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time.
Costner, however, has more of a resolution at the end, able to make peace finally with his father's passing.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch?
I'd like that.
I think anyone who's lost a parent can identify with the emotion in that scene. Thank you so much for watching, and please do leave a comment. Am I missing something from this list? You bet I am. And that, of course, happens to be my favorite sports movie, Rocky. But I also feel that Rocky is the best sports series. So I'll be back soon, but I'm going to rank the entire Rocky franchise. I hope you check it out.
Cleveland, city of light, city of magic. Cleveland, city of light, you're calling me. Cleveland, even now I can remember, 'cause the Cuyahoga River goes smoking through my dreams. Burn on, big river, burn on. Burn on, big river.